Do you want to successfully complete the CompTIA A plus Core 01 exam? Then you're in the right place. Welcome to MyITCerts.com, where thousands of students have found their path to exam success. Our website provides completely free access to over 300 practice questions with detailed explanations and comprehensive study guides covering every exam objective. Everything you need for success on your first attempt for free. In this video, we will cover questions from mobile devices, networking, hardware, virtualization, troubleshooting. So, let's get started. 1. A technician is building a new desktop computer and needs to select RAM that will provide the highest possible memory bandwidth for a video editing workstation. Which of the following RAM configurations would provide the best performance? A. Single-channel DDR4, B. Dual-channel DDR4, C. Single-channel DDR5, D. Quad-channel DDR4. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, D. Quad-channel DDR4. Explanation. Option D is correct because quad-channel DDR4 provides significantly more memory bandwidth than single or dual-channel configurations by utilizing 4 memory channels simultaneously, which is ideal for memory-intensive tasks like video editing. Option A, single-channel DDR4, is incorrect because it offers the lowest memory bandwidth of the options listed, as it only uses 1 memory channel. Option B, dual-channel DDR4, is incorrect because while better than single-channel, it still provides only half the theoretical bandwidth of quad-channel DDR4. Option C, single-channel DDR5, is incorrect because although DDR5 has higher base speeds than DDR4, a single-channel configuration would still provide less total bandwidth than quad-channel DDR4 in most scenarios. 2. A system administrator notices that one of the RAID arrays in a server is reporting degraded performance. Upon investigation, they see that one of the drives in the array has failed. The array consists of 4 drives and is currently still operational. Which RAID level is most likely being used? A. RAID 0, B. RAID 1, C. RAID 5, D. RAID 10. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, C. RAID 5. Explanation. Option C is correct because RAID 5 uses parity information distributed across all drives to provide fault tolerance. With 4 drives in a RAID 5 array, the system can continue to operate with 1 failed drive, though with degraded performance as the system has to calculate missing data from parity information. Option A, RAID 0, is incorrect because RAID 0 provides no fault tolerance. If any drive in a RAID 0 array fails, the entire array fails and data is lost. Option B, RAID 1, is incorrect because though RAID 1 provides fault tolerance through mirroring, it typically involves only 2 drives. In a 4-drive configuration, it would be unusual to use RAID 1. Option D, RAID 10, is incorrect because while RAID 10 could survive 1 drive failure, it combines striping and mirroring in a way that would typically allow it to survive multiple drive failures, depending on which drives fail. The scenario specifically mentions degraded performance, which is characteristic of RAID 5 operating in a degraded state. 3. A technician is replacing the screen on a smartphone and notices that along the edges of the display frame, there are several small plastic or rubber strips breaking up the metal frame. What is the primary purpose of these strips? A. To allow the glass to expand and contract with temperature changes. B. To serve as impact absorbers in case the phone is dropped. C. to allow Wi-Fi and cellular signals to pass through the otherwise signal-blocking metal frame. D. To provide access points for future repairs without damaging the frame. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. C. To allow Wi-Fi and cellular signals to pass through the otherwise signal-blocking metal frame. Explanation. Option C is correct because these plastic or rubber strips, antenna lines, in the metal frame allow radio frequency signals, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, cellular, to pass through. Metal frames would otherwise block these signals, so these breaks in the metal are essential for wireless connectivity. Option A, to allow the glass to expand and contract with temperature changes, is incorrect because while thermal expansion is a consideration in device design, these specific strips are not primarily for handling glass expansion. Option B, to serve as impact absorbers in case the phone is dropped, is incorrect because impact absorption is typically handled by the internal design of the phone and any protective case, not by the antenna lines. Option D, to provide access points for future repairs without damaging the frame, is incorrect because these strips are not designed as access points for repairs. They are specifically placed for optimal antenna performance. 4. A customer's tablet has a screen that works perfectly when touched with a finger, but doesn't respond at all when the customer tries to use it while wearing gloves or with a regular plastic stylus. What type of touch technology is most likely used in this tablet? A. Resistive touchscreen. B. Capacitive touchscreen. C. Infrared touchscreen. D. Surface acoustic wave touchscreen. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B. Capacitive touchscreen. Explanation. Option B is correct because capacitive touchscreens rely on the electrical conductivity of the human body to detect touches. They don't respond to non-conductive objects like regular plastic styluses or gloved fingers, unless using special conductive gloves. Option A, resistive touchscreen, is incorrect because resistive touchscreens work based on pressure and would respond to gloved fingers and plastic styluses. Option C, infrared touchscreen, is incorrect because infrared touchscreens detect any object breaking their light beams, including gloved fingers and styluses. Option D, surface acoustic wave touchscreen, is incorrect because this technology would respond to any object that touches the surface and disturbs the waves, including gloves and styluses. 5. A traveling businessman has a tablet with only a USB-C port. He needs to connect to both a wired Ethernet network and power source simultaneously during a presentation. Which accessory would best meet these requirements? A. USB-C to Ethernet adapter. B. USB-C to VGA adapter. C. USB-C multi-port adapter with power delivery and Ethernet. D. Bluetooth to Ethernet bridge. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. C. USB-C multi-port adapter with power delivery and Ethernet. Explanation. Option C is correct because a USB-C multi-port adapter with power delivery, PD, and Ethernet would allow the tablet to connect to both a wired network and power source through a single USB-C port. This type of adapter supports pass-through charging while also providing Ethernet connectivity. Option A, USB-C to Ethernet adapter, is incorrect because while it would provide Ethernet connectivity, it wouldn't allow for simultaneous charging, which is a requirement in the scenario. Option B, USB-C to VGA adapter, is incorrect because it addresses display output rather than Ethernet connectivity, and likely wouldn't support power delivery. Option D, Bluetooth to Ethernet bridge, is incorrect because this isn't a standard connectivity solution and wouldn't address the power requirements. Additionally, Bluetooth would introduce unnecessary complexity and potential reliability issues for a wired network connection. 6. A customer's smartphone has a damaged charging port. They still need to keep the phone charged throughout the day, but can't connect any cables. Which of the following solutions would best address their immediate needs without requiring repair of the phone? A. Use a USB hub to charge the phone. B. Enable the phone's hotspot feature. C. Purchase a Qi wireless charging pad. D. Connect a portable keyboard. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. C. Purchase a Qi wireless charging pad. Explanation. Option C is correct because a Qi wireless charging pad would allow the customer to charge their phone without needing to connect any cables to the damaged charging port. This provides an immediate solution that doesn't require repairing the phone first. Option A, use a USB hub to charge the phone, is incorrect because a USB hub would still require connecting a cable to the phone's damaged charging port, which is the core problem. Option B, enable the phone's hotspot feature, is incorrect because the hotspot feature shares the phone's internet connection with other devices, but doesn't address the charging issue. Option D, connect a portable keyboard, is incorrect because connecting a keyboard doesn't provide a charging solution and would likely require using the damaged port anyway. Seven. A corporate IT administrator needs to push email settings to 200 employee devices and enforce security policies like requiring screen locks and preventing copying of sensitive data. Which solution should they implement? A. Send detailed setup instructions via email. B. Install a mobile device management (MDM) solution. C. Configure a mobile hotspot for all employees. D. Enable two-factor authentication on email accounts. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B. Install a mobile device management (MDM) solution. Explanation. Option B is correct because mobile device management (MDM) solutions are specifically designed to centrally manage multiple devices, push configurations like email settings, and enforce security policies. MDM can automatically configure devices, saving time for both IT staff and employees while ensuring consistent security settings. Option A, send detailed setup instructions via email, is incorrect because manually configuring 200 devices would be time-consuming, prone to user error, and wouldn't provide a way to enforce security policies or verify compliance. Option C, configure a mobile hotspot for all employees, is incorrect because a hotspot only provides internet connectivity and doesn't help with email configuration or security policy enforcement. Option D, enable two-factor authentication on email accounts, is incorrect because while two-factor authentication adds security to email accounts, it doesn't help with automatically configuring email settings or enforcing device-level security policies like screen locks or copy-paste restrictions. Eight. A user reports that after traveling to another state, their smartphone shows fewer bars of signal strength and slower data speeds, despite their carrier advertising coverage in that area. Which of the following would be the most appropriate first troubleshooting step for a CDMA phone? A. Replace the SIM card. B. Update the preferred roaming list. PRL. C. Perform a factory reset on the device. D. Switch to a different carrier. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. B. Update the preferred roaming list. PRL. Explanation. Option B is correct because updating the preferred roaming list, PRL, on a CDMA phone helps the device identify and connect to the preferred towers in a new location. This is often the first troubleshooting step when experiencing connectivity issues after traveling to a new area where your carrier should have coverage. Option A, replace the SIM card, is incorrect because traditional CDMA phones didn't use SIM cards for network connectivity, though modern CDMA phones may use them for 4G LTE. Even for phones with SIM cards, replacement wouldn't be the first step for this issue. Option C, perform a factory reset on the device, is incorrect because this is an extreme troubleshooting measure that would erase all data on the phone. This should only be considered after trying simpler solutions. Option D, switch to a different carrier, is incorrect because changing carriers is a drastic solution that shouldn't be the first troubleshooting step, especially when the current carrier advertises coverage in the area. 9. A user reports that they can send email but cannot receive any new messages. The network administrator confirms that the mail server is running properly. Which of the following ports should the administrator check first? A. Port 25. B. Port 110. C. Port 80. D. Port 143. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, B. Port 110. Explanation. Option B is correct because port 110 is used by POP3, Post Office Protocol version 3, which is commonly used for retrieving email messages from a mail server. Since the user can send email, which uses SMTP on port 25, but can't receive mail, the POP3 port is the most logical first choice to check. Option A, port 25, is incorrect because SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, on port 25 is used for sending email. The scenario states that the user can already send email, so port 25 is likely working correctly. Option C, port 80, is incorrect because HTTP on port 80 is used for web browsing, not email services. Option D, port 143, is incorrect because IMAP, Internet Message Access Protocol, on port 143 is also used for retrieving email. While this could also be the issue, POP3, port 110, is more commonly used for basic email retrieval and would typically be checked first. The follow-up action would be to check port 143 if port 110 appears to be working correctly. 10. A junior administrator is setting up monitoring for critical network devices like routers and switches. What protocol and ports should be configured to receive status alerts and notifications from these devices? A. LDAP on port 389. B. DNS on port 53. C. SNMP on ports 161 and 162. D. DHCP on ports 67 and 68. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer, C. SNMP on ports 161 and 162. Explanation. Option C is correct because SNMP, Simple Network Management Protocol, on ports 161 and 162 is specifically designed for monitoring and managing network devices. Port 161 is used for regular SNMP communications, while port 162 is used for SNMP traps, which are alerts sent from devices to management stations when certain conditions occur. Option A, LDAP on port 389, is incorrect because LDAP is used for accessing directory services, typically for user and resource information, not for network device monitoring. Option B, DNS on port 53, is incorrect because DNS translates domain names to IP addresses and isn't used for monitoring or alerting functionality. Option D, DHCP on ports 67 and 68, is incorrect because DHCP is used for automatic IP address assignment to devices on a network, not for monitoring or receiving alerts from network equipment. 11. An IT administrator notices that when a new employee connects their laptop to the network, it automatically receives an IP address, DNS settings, and can immediately access network resources. Which network device is most responsible for providing this automatic configuration? A. Switch. B. Router. C. Access point. D. Firewall. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, B. Router. Explanation. Option B is correct because routers typically handle DHCP, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, services in most networks, especially in small to medium businesses. The DHCP service automatically assigns IP addresses, default gateway, DNS servers, and other network configuration to new devices when they connect to the network. Option A, switch, is incorrect because while switches connect devices on the same network, they typically operate at Layer 2 of the OSI model and don't provide IP address assignment or DNS configuration services, which are Layer 3 functions. Option C, access point, is incorrect because access points primarily provide wireless connectivity to a wired network. While some advanced access points might include DHCP capabilities, this is typically handled by the router in most network setups. Option D, firewall, is incorrect because firewalls focus on security and traffic filtering. While some integrated firewall/router devices include DHCP functionality, the core function of automatically providing IP addresses to new devices is a router function. 12. A school is upgrading their internet service from DSL to fiber. The fiber optic cable has been installed to the building, but the old DSL modem is not compatible with this service. Which device must be installed to connect the fiber service to the school's existing router? A. Cable modem. B. Network interface card. C. Optical network terminal. ONT. D. Access point. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer, C. Optical network terminal, ONT. Explanation. Option C is correct because an optical network terminal, ONT, is the device specifically designed to convert the light signals from fiber optic cables into electrical signals that can be used by conventional networking equipment like routers. It serves as the demarcation point between the fiber provider's network and the customer's premises. Option A, cable modem, is incorrect because cable modems are designed for internet service over coaxial cable television infrastructure, not fiber optic lines. Option B, network interface card, is incorrect because while NICs connect devices to networks, a standard NIC cannot connect directly to fiber optic service. A fiber NIC would connect a computer to a fiber network, but wouldn't serve as the building entry point for fiber internet service. Option D, access point, is incorrect because access points provide wireless connectivity to existing networks and cannot convert fiber optic signals for use with conventional networking equipment. 13. A technician needs to implement a wireless solution to connect two buildings that are 500 meters apart. Which of the following would be the most appropriate technology for this scenario? A. 802.1 1 AC Wi-Fi with standard omnidirectional antennas. B. Bluetooth 5.0, C. Long-range fixed wireless with directional antennas. D. NFC. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer, C. Long-range fixed wireless with directional antennas. Explanation. Option C is correct because long-range fixed wireless with directional antennas is specifically designed for building-to-building connections over distances of hundreds of meters to several kilometers. Directional antennas focus the signal in a specific direction, maximizing the range and reliability of the connection. Option A, 802.11, AC Wi-Fi with standard omnidirectional antennas, is incorrect because standard Wi-Fi with omnidirectional antennas typically has a maximum outdoor range of about 300 meters under ideal conditions, which is insufficient for a 500-meter connection. Additionally, omnidirectional antennas broadcast in all directions, wasting signal strength. Option B, Bluetooth 5.0, is incorrect because even the latest Bluetooth standards have a maximum range of about 100 meters in optimal conditions, far short of the required 500 meters. Option D, NFC, is incorrect because NFC is an extremely short-range technology designed for communication within a few centimeters, making it completely unsuitable for building-to-building connections. (14) A technician is troubleshooting a device that cannot connect to any wireless networks. The device shows no available networks, even though other devices in the same location can connect without issues. Which of the following should the technician check first? A. Reset network settings on the device. B. Verify that Wi-Fi is enabled on the device. C. Update the wireless router's firmware. D. Move the device closer to the access point. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, B. Verify that Wi-Fi is enabled on the device. Explanation. Option B is correct because the most basic and common cause for a device not showing any available wireless networks is that the Wi-Fi radio is disabled. This could be due to a physical switch, function key, FN plus F2 for example, or airplane mode being enabled. Always check the simplest potential cause first. Option A, reset network settings on the device, is incorrect because resetting network settings is a more disruptive step that should only be done after confirming the Wi-Fi is actually enabled. Option C, update the wireless router's firmware, is incorrect because updating router firmware would be unnecessary if other devices can connect successfully, and it wouldn't explain why this device can't see any networks at all. Option D, move the device closer to the access point, is incorrect because the issue isn't poor signal strength or connectivity. The device isn't seeing any networks at all, which suggests a problem with the device's wireless capability rather than distance. (15) An employee is unable to print to any network printer, though they could print yesterday. Other employees can print without issues. The IT technician verifies the employee's computer has network connectivity. Which network service should the technician check first? A. DNS server. B. DHCP server. C. Print server. D. Web server. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer, C. Print server. Explanation. Option C is correct because the print server manages all network printing services, including print queues, printer access, and driver management. Since the issue is specific to one user not being able to print to any network printer, while others can print successfully, the most likely cause is a problem with that user's interaction with the print server, such as authentication issues, corrupted print jobs in the queue, or print driver problems. Option A, DNS server, is incorrect because DNS resolves domain names to IP addresses. If DNS was the issue, the user would likely have other network connectivity problems beyond just printing, and the problem mentions the computer has network connectivity. Option B, DHCP server, is incorrect because DHCP assigns IP addresses and network configuration. The scenario states the computer has network connectivity, indicating DHCP is working properly. Option D, web server, is incorrect because web servers host websites and web applications, which aren't related to network printing functionality. 16. A company needs to implement a network service that will verify user identities, control what resources users can access, and track user activities for security auditing. Which service would best meet these requirements? A, AAA server, B, UTM appliance, C, DN server, D, file server. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, A, AAA server. Explanation. Option A is correct because AAA, authentication, authorization, and accounting, is a security framework that specifically addresses the three requirements mentioned: verifying user identities, authentication, controlling what resources users can access, TWN authorization, and tracking user activities, accounting. Option B, UTM appliance, is incorrect because while a unified threat management appliance provides multiple security functions, it focuses on threat prevention, firewall, antivirus, content filtering, rather than specifically handling user authentication, authorization, and activity tracking. Option C, DNS server, is incorrect because domain name system translates domain names to IP addresses and doesn't handle user authentication, access control, or activity tracking. Option D, and file server, is incorrect because though file servers may enforce some access controls for stored files, they don't provide the comprehensive authentication, authorization, and accounting framework required across multiple network resources. 17. Users report that a network printer periodically goes offline and disappears from the available printers list. When checking the printer directly, it appears to be powered on and ready. What is the most likely cause of this issue? A, the printer has an intermittent hardware failure. B, the printer's IP address is changing due to DHCP lease renewal. C, the printer driver is outdated or corrupted. D, users have exceeded their print quotas. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer, B, the printer's IP address is changing due to DHCP lease renewal. Explanation. Option B is correct because a printer that physically appears online but periodically disappears from network discovery is often experiencing IP address changes due to DHCP lease renewals. When the address changes, the previous connection to the printer becomes invalid. Option A, the printer has an intermittent hardware failure, is incorrect because a hardware failure would typically cause the printer to show physical symptoms, error lights, messages on the display, rather than just disappearing from the network. Option C, the printer driver is outdated or corrupted, is incorrect because driver issues would affect individual users' ability to print, not cause the printer to disappear from the network for all users. Option D, users have exceeded their print quotas, is incorrect because exceeding print quotas would typically result in policy-based error messages when attempting to print, not the printer disappearing from the network. 18. A user accidentally drops their smartphone in water. Which of the following should be done first? A, turn on the device to check if it still works. B, use a hairdryer to quickly dry the device. C, power off the device immediately. D, charge the device to prevent battery damage. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. C. Power off the device immediately. Explanation. Option C is correct because immediately powering off a water-exposed device is critical to prevent short circuits. Electricity flowing through wet components is the primary cause of permanent damage after liquid exposure. Option A, turn on the device to check if it still works, is incorrect because turning on a wet device is one of the worst things you can do, as it allows electricity to flow through components that may have water on or between them, causing short circuits. Option B, use a hairdryer to quickly dry the device, is incorrect because applying heat with a hairdryer can damage sensitive components and drive moisture deeper into the device rather than removing it. Option D, charge the device to prevent battery damage, is incorrect because charging a wet device introduces electrical current, which is extremely dangerous and can cause permanent damage or even safety hazards. 19. An IT administrator has just deployed a new mail server for a small business. Which DNS record type must be configured to ensure emails sent to the company domain reach this new server? A. A record. B. TXT record. C. MX record. D. DMARC record. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. C. MX record. Explanation. Option C is correct because MX, mail exchanger records, specify which mail servers accept email for a domain. When someone sends an email to an address at the company domain, their mail server looks up the domain's MX record to determine where to deliver the message. Option A record, is incorrect because while the mail server would need an A record to map its host name to an IP address, the A record alone doesn't direct incoming mail to the server. Mail servers specifically look for MX records when determining where to deliver email. Option B, TXT record, is incorrect because TXT records store text information about a domain and are used for various purposes, including spam prevention, SPF, DKIM, DMARC, but they don't direct incoming mail to the appropriate server. Option D, DMARC record, is incorrect because DMARC records provide policies for handling authentication failures and reporting for email, but they don't specify which servers should receive incoming mail for the domain. 20. A network administrator notices that a network segment is experiencing excessive broadcast traffic, causing performance issues. The segment contains computers from multiple departments that don't need to communicate with each other. What should the administrator implement to resolve this issue? A. DHCP server. B. DNS server. C. VLANs. D. VPN. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. C. VLANs. Explanation. Option C is correct because VLANs, virtual local area networks, divide a single physical network into multiple logical networks, creating separate broadcast domains. By implementing VLANs and placing different departments in different VLANs, the administrator can significantly reduce broadcast traffic, since broadcasts are confined within each VLAN, improving network performance. Option A, DHCP server, is incorrect because a DHCP server automates IP address assignment, but doesn't reduce broadcast traffic or create separate broadcast domains. Option B, DNS server, is incorrect because a DNS server resolves domain names to IP addresses, but doesn't affect broadcast traffic patterns or create network segmentation. Option D, VPN, is incorrect because a VPN, virtual private network, creates secure connections over unsecured networks, typically for remote access. While VPNs can provide security, they don't address excessive broadcast traffic on a local network segment. 21. A company is upgrading its internet connection and needs the fastest possible speeds with symmetric upload and download capabilities for their cloud-based applications and large file transfers. Which internet connection type should they choose? A. Cable. B. DSL. C. Fiber. D. Cellular. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, C. Fiber. Explanation. Option C is correct because fiber internet provides the fastest speeds currently available, up to 10 plus Gbps, and offers symmetric upload and download speeds. This makes it ideal for cloud-based applications and large file transfers in both directions. Fiber also provides the lowest latency and highest reliability of the options listed. Option A, cable, is incorrect because while cable can provide fast download speeds, it typically has much slower upload speeds, asymmetric. The scenario specifically mentions needing symmetric capabilities for cloud applications and file transfers in both directions. Option B, DSL, is incorrect because DSL is generally slower than both fiber and cable, particularly for upload speeds. It would not be suitable for a company requiring the fastest possible speeds for large file transfers. Option D, cellular, is incorrect because cellular internet is generally not suitable as a primary connection for a company requiring very fast speeds and large file transfers. Cellular typically has data caps, variable speeds depending on network congestion, and is more expensive per gigabyte than wired options. (22) A university wants to implement a network that connects all buildings on its main campus for resource sharing and internet access. Which network type would best meet this requirement? A. WAN. B. PAN. C. MAN. D. LAN. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer, D. LAN. Explanation. Option D is correct because a local area network, LAN, is designed to connect devices within a limited geographical area such as a campus. A university campus LAN would allow all buildings to share resources and internet access while being managed by the university's IT department. Option A, WAN, is incorrect because a wide area network connects multiple geographically distant locations, typically across cities, countries, or continents. A single university campus would not require a WAN unless it needed to connect to other campuses in different cities. Option B, PAN, is incorrect because a personal area network connects devices centered around an individual person within a very limited range, typically 10 meters. This is far too limited in scope for connecting multiple buildings across a university campus. Option C, MAN, is incorrect because a metropolitan area network typically spans an entire city. While a very large university might approach the size of a MAN, most campus networks fall within the definition of a LAN. A MAN would be more appropriate if connecting multiple separate campuses across a city. (23) A network administrator needs to determine if a network interface card, NICO, in a computer is functioning properly. The computer does not connect to the network, but the administrator wants to isolate whether the problem is with the NIC itself or elsewhere in the network. Which tool should be used? A. Loopback plug. B. Cable stripper. C. Network tap. D. Wi-Fi analyzer. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, A. Loopback plug. Explanation. Option A is correct because a loopback plug is specifically designed to test network interfaces by routing outgoing signals back as incoming signals. By connecting a loopback plug to the computer's network port and running appropriate diagnostic software, The administrator can determine if the NIC can successfully send and receive data, isolating whether the problem is with the network adapter itself or elsewhere in the network. Option B, cable stripper, is incorrect because a cable stripper is used to prepare cables for termination by removing the outer jacket. It has no diagnostic capabilities and cannot test network interface functionality. Option C, a network tap, is incorrect because a network tap is used to capture network traffic for analysis. While useful for troubleshooting certain network issues, it requires a functioning network connection to begin with and doesn't help isolate whether a NIC is working. Option D, Wi-Fi analyzer, is incorrect because a Wi-Fi analyzer is used for wireless network analysis and has no capability to test a wired network interface card. (24) After creating a custom Ethernet cable, a technician needs to verify that all 8 wires are properly connected. What do you think is the answer? In the correct order, with no shorts, opens, or miswires. Which networking tool should be used? A. Network tap. B. Cable tester. C. Punch-down tool. D. Wi-Fi analyzer. Correct answer, B. Cable tester. Explanation. Option B is correct because a cable tester is specifically designed to verify proper cable connections by checking for opens, broken connections, shorts, crossed wires, and correct pin mappings. It's the appropriate tool to ensure a newly created Ethernet cable will function correctly. Option A, network tap, is incorrect because a network tap is used to capture and monitor network traffic. It doesn't test the internal wiring or connectivity of a cable. Option C, punch-down tool, is incorrect because a punch-down tool is used to connect wires to fixed infrastructure like patch panels and keystone jacks. It has no testing or diagnostic capabilities. Option D, Wi-Fi analyzer, is incorrect because a Wi-Fi analyzer is used to examine wireless networks and has no capability to test physical cable connections. 25. A technician is installing several new SATA hard drives in a desktop computer. After connecting the drives to the motherboard with data cables, what additional connection must be made to each drive before they will function? A. Molex power connector. B. SATA power connector. C. USB power cable. D. Jumper configuration. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer, B. SATA power connector. Explanation. Option B is correct because SATA hard drives require both a SATA data connection to the motherboard and a SATA power connector from the power supply. The SATA power connector has 15 pins and provides the necessary power for the drive to operate. Option A, Molex power connector, is incorrect because while Molex connectors were used with older IDE drives, and some SATA drives might accept power from Molex via an adapter, the standard and direct power connection for SATA drives is the SATA power connector. Option C, USB power cable, is incorrect because internal SATA drives do not use USB for power. USB power is typically used for external peripherals, not for internal components. Option D, jumper configuration, is incorrect because unlike IDE drives, which often required master/slave jumper settings, modern SATA drives do not require jumper configuration for basic operation in most systems. 26. A network technician needs to make several patch cables for a small office network. After cutting lengths of Cat6 cable, which networking tool should be used first in the process of attaching the RJ45 connectors? A. Crimper. B. Cable tester. C. Punch-down tool. D. Cable stripper. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. D. Cable stripper. Explanation. Option D is correct because a cable stripper is used to remove the outer jacket of the network cable, which is the first step in preparing the cable for termination. This tool safely removes the outer insulation without damaging the internal wire pairs. Option A, crimper, is incorrect because a crimper is used after the cable has been stripped and the wires arranged in the correct order. It's used to secure the RJ45 connector onto the prepared cable end, not to prepare the cable initially. Option B, cable tester, is incorrect because a cable tester is used after the cable has been fully terminated to verify that all connections are properly made. It's the last step in cable creation, not the first. Option C, punch-down tool, is incorrect because a punch-down tool is used for terminating cables to patch panels or keystone jacks, not for attaching RJ45 connectors to make patch cables. 27. A technician is preparing to install RAM in a system and wants to avoid damage from electrostatic discharge. Which of the following is the best way to protect the RAM during installation? A. Rub the RAM modules with an anti-static cloth before installation. B. Use an anti-static wrist strap connected to the computer chassis. C. Keep the RAM in the anti-static bag while installing it. D. Turn on the computer to ensure proper grounding before installation. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. B. Use an anti-static wrist strap connected to the computer chassis. Explanation. Option B is correct because using an anti-static wrist strap connected to the computer chassis creates a safe path for any static electricity to discharge through the grounding connection rather than through the sensitive components. This is the most reliable way to prevent ESD damage when handling RAM or other sensitive components. Option A, rub the RAM modules with an anti-static cloth before installation, is incorrect because rubbing the modules could generate more static electricity and potentially damage the components. Anti-static cloths are for cleaning, not for discharging static electricity from your body. Option C, keep the RAM in the anti-static bag while installing it, is incorrect because you cannot install RAM while it's still in the anti-static bag. The bag provides protection during storage and transport, but must be removed for installation. Option D, turn on the computer to ensure proper grounding before installation, is incorrect because installing components while the computer is powered on can damage both the components and the motherboard. Proper installation requires the system to be completely powered off and unplugged. 28. A user has a system with 8 GB of DDR4, 2400 RAM, and wants to add 2 more 8 GB DDR4 to 3200 modules to the remaining slots. After installation, at what speed will the memory operate? A. 2400 MHz, B. 2800 MHz, C. 3200 MHz, D. 5600 MHz. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, A. 2400 MHz. Explanation. Option A is correct because when RAM modules with different speeds are installed in the same system, the memory controller typically operates all modules at the speed of the slowest installed module. In this case, the original 8 GB modules run at 2400 MHz, so all memory in the system, including the new 3200 MHz modules, will operate at 2400 MHz to maintain compatibility and stability. Option B, 2800 MHz, is incorrect because memory doesn't automatically operate at the average speed of installed modules. It runs at the speed of the slowest module. Option C, 3200 MHz, is incorrect because the system cannot run all memory at the higher speed of the new modules when slower modules are present. Option D, 5600 MHz, is incorrect because this speed exceeds even the fastest modules installed in the system and is not how memory speeds are determined when mixing modules. 29. A technician is configuring a RAID array for a small business server that will store critical company data. The server has 3 identical 1 TB hard drives available. The business owner wants maximum usable storage space while still having protection against drive failure. Which RAID level should the technician implement? A. RAID 0, B. RAID 1, C. RAID 5, D. RAID 10. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, C. RAID 5. Explanation: option C is correct because RAID 5 with 3 1 TB drives provides 2 TB of usable storage space, while still offering protection against the failure of any one drive. RAID 5 uses distributed parity, which allows for data recovery if one drive fails, meeting the requirement for protection against drive failure while maximizing available storage. Option A, RAID 0, is incorrect because although RAID 0 would provide the maximum usable space, 3 TB, by striping data across all drives, it offers no redundancy. If any drive fails, all data would be lost, which doesn't meet the requirement for protection against drive failure. Option B, RAID 1, is incorrect because with 3 1 TB drives, a RAID 1 implementation would only provide 1 TB of usable space, with either one drive as a mirror of one other drive and the third unused, or all 3 drives containing identical data. This doesn't maximize usable storage as effectively as RAID 5. Option D, RAID 10, is incorrect because RAID 10 requires a minimum of 4 drives, so it cannot be implemented with only 3 available drives. Even if it could be implemented in a modified way, it would only provide 1.5 TB of usable space, which is less than RAID 5's 2 TB. A user complains that their laptop has become very slow when launching applications and booting up. The laptop is 3 years old and has an 80 GB RAM and a 5,400 revolutions per minute hard drive. Which of the following upgrades would provide the most significant performance improvement? A. Upgrade to 16 GB RAM. B. Replace the 5,400 revolutions per minute in hard drive with a 7,200 revolutions per minute hard drive. C. Replace the hard drive with a SATA SSD. D. Add an external USB 3.0 hard drive. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer, C. Replace the hard drive with a SATA SSD. Explanation: option C is correct because replacing a traditional spinning hard drive with an SSD provides the most dramatic performance improvement for boot times and application loading. SSDs offer significantly faster read/write speeds and much lower latency compared to any mechanical hard drive, regardless of RPM. This upgrade would address the specific slow boot and application launch issues mentioned. Option A, upgrade to 16 GB RAM, is incorrect because while additional RAM can improve system performance when multitasking or working with memory-intensive applications, the described symptoms, slow boot and application launches, are more indicative of storage bottlenecks rather than insufficient RAM. An 8 GB RAM configuration is generally adequate for most users, and increasing to 16 GB would not address the storage-related slowdowns. Option B, replace the 5,400 revolutions per minute hard drive with a 7,200 revolutions per minute hard drive, is incorrect because although a 7,200 revolutions per minute drive is faster than a 5,400 revolutions per minute drive, the performance difference is relatively small compared to the dramatic improvement offered by an SSD. A 7,200 revolutions per minute drive still has mechanical limitations that result in much slower access times than any SSD. Option D, add an external USB 3.0 hard drive, is incorrect because adding an external drive provides additional storage capacity but doesn't improve the performance of the operating system or applications, which are stored on the internal drive. Additionally, even USB 3.0 external drives typically offer lower performance than internal SSDs. Struggling with your IT certification exams? We've all been there. Welcome to MyITCerts.com, your ultimate resource for IT exam success. Find over 15,000 plus questions and answers. Join our thriving community of over 10,000 plus active students and the impressive 100% success rate with our premium exam support. Visit MyITCerts.com today and take first step towards guaranteed success. 31. A technician is building a multi-purpose workstation for video editing and needs to choose the appropriate expansion card. The main requirements are to capture high-quality video from a professional camera and import it directly to the editing software. Which card should the technician install? A. Sound card. B. Video card. C. Capture card. D. Network interface card. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. C. Capture card. Explanation. Option C is correct because capture cards are specifically designed to record video input from external sources, like cameras, making them perfect for importing footage from a professional camera for video editing. Option A, sound card, is incorrect because while audio is important for video editing, a sound card processes audio output rather than video input from cameras. Option B, video card, is incorrect because while video cards handle graphics processing and are important for video editing, they don't typically capture video from external cameras. Option D, network interface card, is incorrect because NICs handle network connectivity and aren't involved in capturing video from cameras. (32) A technician is building a computer and needs to apply a material between the CPU and heatsink to improve heat transfer. The computer will be used for intensive tasks like gaming and 3D rendering. Which of the following should the technician use? A. Electrical tape. B. Rubber pads. C. Thermal paste. D. Silicone adhesive. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. C. Thermal paste. Explanation. Option C is correct because thermal paste is specifically designed to fill microscopic air gaps between the CPU and heatsink, improving heat transfer efficiency, which is crucial for intensive tasks like gaming and 3D rendering. Option A, electrical tape, is incorrect because electrical tape is an insulator that would prevent proper heat transfer and could cause the CPU to overheat quickly. Option B, rubber pads, is incorrect because rubber pads would create a barrier that prevents direct contact and efficient heat transfer between the CPU and heatsink. Option D, silicone adhesive, is incorrect because silicone adhesive isn't designed for heat transfer and would permanently bond the CPU to the heatsink, making future maintenance impossible. 33. A small business needs a server that can continue running even if a power supply fails. Which power supply feature should they prioritize? A. Modular design. B. Higher wattage rating. C. Redundant power supply. D. 80 plus gold certification. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. C. Redundant power supply. Explanation. Option C is correct because redundant power supplies have multiple PSU units that operate in parallel, allowing the system to continue running if one unit fails. This is specifically designed for servers and systems that require high availability. Option A, modular design, is incorrect because while modular design improves cable management, it doesn't provide protection against power supply failure. Option B, higher wattage rating, is incorrect because higher wattage alone doesn't protect against PSU failure. Option D, 80 plus gold certification, is incorrect because while 80 plus gold certification indicates good efficiency, it doesn't provide protection against power supply failure. 34. A technician is replacing a power supply and notices the CPU requires a dedicated power connection near the socket. Which connector should the technician use for this purpose? A. 6-pin PCIe connector. B. SATA power connector. C. 4-pin or 8-pin CPU power connector. D. 24-pin motherboard connector. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. C. 4-pin or 8-pin CPU power connector. Explanation. Option C is correct because the 4-pin or 8-pin CPU power connector, sometimes called EPS12V, is specifically designed to provide additional power to the CPU and connects near the CPU socket on the motherboard. Option A, 6-pin PCIe connector, is incorrect because 6-pin PCIe connectors are designed for graphics cards, not CPUs. Option B, SATA power connector, is incorrect because SATA power connectors are for storage devices like hard drives and SSDs. Option D, 24-pin motherboard connector, is incorrect because while the 24-pin connector provides primary power to the motherboard, modern CPUs require an additional dedicated power connector. (35) A user complains that their printed spreadsheets are being cut off on the right side. The spreadsheet data extends beyond a standard page width. Which printer setting should the technician adjust to resolve this issue? A. Resolution. B. Orientation. C. Tray settings. D. Quality. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. B. Orientation. Explanation. Option B is correct because changing the orientation from portrait, vertical, to landscape, horizontal, would provide more width for printing spreadsheets that extend beyond standard page width. Option A, resolution, is incorrect because resolution affects print quality, dots per inch, but doesn't change how content fits on the page. Option C, tray settings, is incorrect because tray settings control which paper tray is used and the paper size/type, but don't address the orientation issue. Option D, quality, is incorrect because quality settings affect how sharp or detailed the output looks, but don't change the layout of content on the page. 36. A company wants to track which employees are printing documents and how much they're printing for departmental billing. Which printer feature should be implemented? A. Printer sharing. B. User authentication and audit. Logs. C. Secured printing. D. Cloud services scanning. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. B. User authentication and audit logs. Explanation. Option B is correct because user authentication requires users to identify themselves before printing, and audit logs track who printed what documents, when, and how many pages. Together, these features enable tracking and billing of print usage by department. Option A, printer sharing, is incorrect because printer sharing only makes the printer available to multiple users, but doesn't track usage. Option C, secured printing, is incorrect because while secured printing requires user authentication, it's primarily focused on document security rather than tracking and billing. Option D, cloud services scanning, is incorrect because cloud services scanning relates to where scanned documents are sent, not to tracking printer usage. 37. A company's color laser printer has been printing documents with a yellowish tint across the entire page. The issue persists regardless of which computer sends the print job. What component should be replaced? A, yellow toner cartridge. B, transfer belt. C, imaging drum. D, fuser assembly. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. A, yellow toner cartridge. Explanation. Option A is correct because a yellowish tint across the entire page suggests that the yellow toner is being applied when it shouldn't be. This is typically caused by a leaking or defective yellow toner cartridge that's depositing toner even in areas that should have no yellow. Option B, transfer belt, is incorrect because while transfer belt issues can cause image quality problems, they typically result in missing portions of the image or uneven transfer, not a color tint across the entire page. Option C, imaging drum, is incorrect because imaging drum issues would typically cause more localized defects or patterns rather than an overall tint. Option D, fuser assembly, is incorrect because the fuser melts the toner onto the paper and doesn't determine which colors are applied. Fuser issues typically cause smudging or toner not adhering properly. 38. A dot matrix printer is printing characters that are missing several dots, making some letters hard to read. Which component should be replaced? A, ribbon cartridge. B, printhead. C, tractor feed mechanism. D, paper tension spring. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B, printhead. Explanation. Option B is correct because missing dots in characters printed by an impact printer indicate that some of the pins in the printhead are broken or worn out. The printhead contains the pins that strike the ribbon to create dots on the paper, and when pins fail, those dots don't appear. Option A, ribbon cartridge, is incorrect because a worn ribbon would cause overall light printing, not specific missing dots in a consistent pattern. Option C, tractor feed mechanism, is incorrect because the tractor feed affects paper movement, not the formation of individual dots in characters. Option D, paper tension spring, is incorrect because paper tension issues would cause paper feeding problems or misalignment, not missing dots in the printed characters. 39. A small accounting firm with limited IT staff wants to give employees access to email, spreadsheets, and productivity applications without installing and maintaining software on individual computers. Which cloud service model would be most appropriate? A, infrastructure as a service, IaaS. B, software as a service, SaaS. C, platform as a service, PaaS. D, desktop as a service, DaaS. Do you know the answer? Correct answer, B, software as a service, CompTIA SaaS. Explanation. Option B is correct because software as a service, SaaS, provides complete applications delivered over the web that require minimal IT management. Applications like Microsoft 365 or Google Workspace offer email, spreadsheets, and productivity tools without requiring installation or maintenance on individual computers. Option A, Infrastructure as a Service, IaaS, is incorrect because IaaS provides only the infrastructure components, requiring the firm to install and manage all software, which doesn't reduce their IT maintenance burden. Option C, Platform as a Service, is incorrect because PaaS is designed for application development, not for providing everyday business applications to employees. Option D, Desktop as a Service, DaaS, is incorrect because Desktop as a Service provides virtual desktops, which is more complex than needed for simple access to productivity applications. A manufacturing company needs to implement a solution that allows employees to access their specific desktop environments from different workstations throughout the factory floor, while keeping all data and applications on company servers. Which technology should they implement? A. File synchronization. B. Public cloud. SaaS. C. On-premises. VDI. D. Rapid elasticity. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer, C. On-premises. VDI. Explanation. Option C is correct because on-premises virtual desktop infrastructure, VDI, allows employees to access their personalized desktop environments from any workstation while keeping all applications and data centralized on company servers. This is ideal for factory environments where workers might need to use different physical workstations throughout the facility. Option A, File synchronization, is incorrect because file synchronization ensures files are consistent across devices, but doesn't provide access to the complete desktop environment and applications. Option B, Public Cloud SaaS, is incorrect because Public Cloud SaaS provides specific applications, but not entire desktop environments, and doesn't meet the requirement to keep data on company servers. Option D, Rapid elasticity, is incorrect because rapid elasticity is a characteristic of cloud computing that allows for scaling resources, not a solution for accessing desktop environments from multiple workstations. 41. A technician wants to enable virtualization support for better VM performance. Where should the technician look to enable this feature? A. Windows features in Control Panel. B. In the virtualization software settings. C. BIOS UEFI settings. D. Device Manager under System Devices. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer, C. BIOS UEFI settings. Explanation. Option C is correct because CPU virtualization support, Intel VTX or AMD, must be enabled in the BIOS UEFI settings before any virtualization software can effectively use these features. This is a hardware-level setting that significantly improves VM performance. Option A, Windows features in Control Panel, is incorrect because while Windows features contain Hyper-V options, the fundamental CPU virtualization support must first be enabled in BIOS UEFI before Windows virtualization features can work effectively. Option B, in the virtualization software settings, is incorrect because virtualization software can't enable hardware virtualization support if it's disabled in BIOS UEFI. The software can only use these features if they're already enabled at the hardware level. Option D, Device Manager under System Devices, is incorrect because Device Manager doesn't provide access to the CPU virtualization settings, which must be configured in BIOS UEFI before the operating system loads. 42. A technician is preparing to make significant changes to a virtual machine's configuration. Which feature should the technician use to ensure they can revert the VM to its current state if something goes wrong? A. Clone the virtual machine. B. Create a snapshot. C. Export the virtual machine. D. Back up the virtual hard disk file. Do you know the answer? Correct answer: B. Create a snapshot. Explanation: Option B is correct because creating a snapshot saves the exact state of the VM at that moment in time, including memory contents, settings, and disk state. This allows the technician to easily and quickly revert to the pre-change state if the configuration changes cause problems. Option A, clone the virtual machine, is incorrect because cloning creates an entirely new VM, which is time-consuming and uses more disk space than a snapshot. While it would preserve the original state, it's not the most efficient solution for this scenario. Option C, export the virtual machine, is incorrect because exporting a VM creates a complete packaged copy for deployment elsewhere, which is unnecessary and time-consuming when you simply want to preserve a recovery point before making changes. Option D, back up the virtual hard disk file, is incorrect because backing up just the virtual hard disk file wouldn't capture machine settings, memory state, or other configuration details that might be modified. 43. A technician is troubleshooting a printer that's producing streaked output. After establishing several possible causes, the technician first checks if the toner cartridge is low. This test doesn't confirm the cause. What should the technician do next, according to the CompTIA troubleshooting methodology? A. Replace the printer drum. B. Test the next theory of probable cause. C. Restart the printer to see if that resolves the issue. D. Escalate the issue to a printer specialist. Do you know the answer? Correct answer: B. Test the next theory of probable cause. Explanation: Option B is correct because when a theory is tested and not confirmed, the next step in the methodology is to test the next theory. The technician should systematically work through each possible cause until the actual cause is identified. Option A, replace the printer drum, is incorrect because replacing the printer drum would be implementing a solution without confirming that a faulty drum is actually the cause. This skips the proper testing of theories. Option C, restart the printer to see if that resolves the issue, is incorrect because randomly restarting the printer without a theoretical basis is not following the methodical approach to troubleshooting. Option D, escalate the issue to a printer specialist, is incorrect because escalation should only occur after you've exhausted all theories within your ability to test, not after testing just one theory. (44) A user reports that their computer restarts randomly. The technician suspects overheating but wants to be thorough. Which of the following represents the best approach according to the troubleshooting methodology? A. Replace the CPU cooler since overheating is the most likely cause. B. Create a list of possible causes including overheating, RAM issues, power supply problems, and malware. C. Ask the user to keep track of when the restarts happen and report back in a week. D. Format and reinstall the operating system to eliminate any software issues. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer: B. Create a list of possible causes including overheating, RAM issues, power supply problems, and malware. Explanation. Option B is correct because creating a list of multiple possible causes is part of Step 2. Establish a theory of probable cause. A good troubleshooter considers multiple possibilities rather than fixating on just one theory, even if one seems most likely. Option A, replace the CPU cooler since overheating is the most likely cause, is incorrect, because jumping directly to replacing hardware based on a single theory without proper testing skips several steps in the troubleshooting methodology and might waste time and resources if overheating isn't the actual cause. Option C, ask the user to keep track of when the restarts happen and report back in a week, is incorrect because while gathering more information can be helpful, this approach delays addressing the problem and doesn't follow the systematic progression of the troubleshooting methodology. Option D, format and reinstall the operating system to eliminate any software issues, is incorrect because formatting and reinstalling the OS is an extreme measure that should only be considered after other troubleshooting steps have been exhausted. This approach skips proper identification of the actual cause. 45. A computer turns on with fans spinning and lights illuminated, but nothing appears on the display, and there are no beep codes. After verifying the monitor works with another computer, what should be checked next? A. Reset the CMOS settings. B. Check RAM, seating and connections. C. Replace the power supply. D. Run a virus scan. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. B. Check RAM, seating and connections. Explanation. Option B is correct because improper RAM seating is a common cause of no display issues without beep codes. When RAM is not seated properly, the system may power on but cannot initialize properly to display anything or even reach the point of generating beep codes. Option A, reset the CMOS settings, is incorrect because while resetting CMOS might help with some boot issues, checking the physical connections and component seating should be done first as a more basic troubleshooting step. Option C, replace the power supply, is incorrect because the symptoms indicate the power supply is functioning enough to power on the system fans and lights. A failing power supply typically wouldn't be the next thing to check, given these specific symptoms. Option D, run a virus scan, is incorrect because running a virus scan is impossible when the system doesn't display anything, and viruses don't typically prevent a system from posting or displaying video output. (46) Every time a computer is turned off and unplugged overnight, the system date and time reset to January 1st, 2016. What is the most likely cause of this issue? A. The hard drive is failing. B. The CMOS battery needs replacement. C. The system clock driver is corrupted. D. The CPU is overheating. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. B. The CMOS battery needs replacement. Explanation. Option B is correct because the CMOS battery maintains system settings, including date and time, when the computer is unplugged. When this battery fails, the system loses these settings and reverts to default values whenever power is completely removed. Option A, the hard drive is failing, is incorrect because a failing hard drive would cause issues with operating system loading, file access, or data corruption, not specifically date and time reset issues. Option C, the system clock driver is corrupted, is incorrect because while a corrupted clock driver could cause time synchronization issues, it wouldn't specifically cause the date to reset to a default value when the system is unplugged. Option D, the CPU is overheating, is incorrect because CPU overheating would cause performance issues or sudden shutdowns under load. not date and time reset problems when the system is powered off. (47) A server with a RAID. Zero array of 2 drives stops booting, and the RAID controller reports a single drive failure. What is the current state of the data on this array? A. All data is still accessible, but the system runs slower. B. Half of the data is lost, but the other half can be recovered. C. All data is completely lost and unrecoverable without backups. D. Data is intact, but needs recovery software to extract it. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. C. All data is completely lost and unrecoverable without backups. Explanation. Option C is correct because RAID 0 uses striping without parity or redundancy, meaning data is split across all drives with no redundancy. When any single drive in a RAID 0 array fails, all data in the entire array becomes unrecoverable because each file is split across multiple drives. Without backups, the data is completely lost. Option A, all data is still accessible but the system runs slower, is incorrect because a RAID 0 array cannot function with a failed drive. It's not just a performance issue. Option B, half of the data is lost but the other half can be recovered, is incorrect because in RAID 0, data is striped across drives in blocks, not split by drive. It's not possible to recover just half the data from the remaining drive. Option D, data is intact but needs recovery software to extract it, is incorrect because recovery software cannot rebuild missing data from a failed RAID 0 drive, as there is no redundancy or parity information. 48. A technician is troubleshooting a computer that suddenly shows all files as corrupted, and the user reports that the system crashed during a Windows update. CHKDSK shows numerous file system errors. After attempting repairs, what should the technician check next to determine if the drive has physical damage? A. Run the manufacturer's diagnostic tool to check for bad sectors. B. Perform a clean installation of Windows. C. Update the storage drivers. D. Defragment the hard drive. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. A. Run the manufacturer's diagnostic tool to check for bad sectors. Explanation. Option A is correct because after addressing logical file system errors with CHKDSK, the next step should be to check for physical problems using the drive manufacturer's diagnostic tool. These tools can perform deeper tests for bad sectors and other physical issues that might indicate drive hardware failure rather than just logical corruption. Option B, perform a clean installation of Windows, is incorrect because reinstalling Windows should only be done after determining whether the drive has physical damage. Installing Windows on a physically failing drive would be wasted effort. Option C, update the storage drivers, is incorrect because driver issues typically don't cause widespread file corruption. Checking for physical drive problems is more important at this stage. Option D, defragment the hard drive, is incorrect because defragmentation reorganizes files, but doesn't address potential physical drive issues, which should be the priority after file system repair. 49. A technician needs to connect a laptop to a projector for the best possible image quality. The laptop has HDMI, DisplayPort, and VGA ports available, and the projector supports all 3 connection types. Which connection type should the technician use? A. VGA, B. HDMI, C. DisplayPort, D. Any of these would provide identical quality. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer, C. DisplayPort. Explanation. Option C is correct because DisplayPort generally provides the best image quality among the three options, supporting higher resolutions, color depth, and refresh rates than HDMI in many implementations. When all three options are available, DisplayPort is typically the optimal choice for maximum image quality. Option A, VGA, is incorrect because VGA is an analog connection that provides lower image quality than the digital options, with potential for signal degradation, especially at higher resolutions. Option B, HDMI, is incorrect because while HDMI is a good digital option, DisplayPort typically supports higher performance specifications and would be preferable when available. Option D, any of these would provide identical quality, is incorrect because these connection types don't provide identical quality. There are significant differences between analog, VGA, and digital, HDMI, DisplayPort connections, and even between the digital standards themselves. During a presentation using an LCD projector, an attendee notices small black dots on the projected image that don't move when the content changes. What is the most likely cause? A. Dead pixels on the projector's LCD panel. B. Dust on the projector lens. C. Interference from room lighting. D. Damage to the projection screen. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. A. Dead pixels on the projector's LCD panel. Explanation. Option A is correct because fixed black dots that remain in the same position, regardless of content changes, are characteristic of dead pixels on the LCD panel inside the projector. These are physical defects in the display element itself. Option B, dust on the projector lens, is incorrect because dust on the lens would typically appear as soft, blurry spots or overall haziness, not as distinct black dots. Option C, interference from room lighting, is incorrect because lighting interference would cause overall brightness or contrast issues, not specific fixed dots. Option D, damage to the projection screen, is incorrect because damage to the projection screen would be visible regardless of whether the projector is on, and would typically appear as physical marks or discoloration on the screen itself. You have reached the end of our question set. For the complete exam preparation experience, visit us at MyITCerts.com, where you find thousands more practice questions and comprehensive study guides. You can study completely free using our study materials and questions, and ace your exams with confidence. Thank you for studying with us today. See you in the next video.